as I move forward with this tricorder build, next step is the sensor hood. This. Greetings, Dave here, DCPFX. Again, a little different. I've got a different green screen behind me, so I'm just trying a few things. Now we're looking at the sensor hood. The sensor hood is, well, that. Now, when you first start getting it together, there's a lot of little pieces here, and I've got a lot of things I put together. So I have been doing, as I said in my last video, I'm doing my alcohol inks. So rather than going in and having, you know, a whole vat full of yellow, I'm able to get just that yellow and that blue. So I can do that just with some inks, and it looks pretty good. Now the next step to do that is once you get it done, so you've got the sensor hood and you've got it all sanded and primed so it looks good, then you need to start looking at what are you going to do to light it. Now if you look right here, that's lit, and it's lit well. You know, the great boards from Jerry, and that looks great by doing it, but it's not really what I want to see. Now, yes, you want to see the chaser effect going across, and you want to see the other ones like that, but you don't want to see the other ones like in the main sensor array. You don't want to see just 2 LEDs, or in the bottom blue or in the bottom yellow. You don't want to see 2 LEDs, 4 LEDs just shining through. So what I do is I take the clear resin bits and I sand them down, give them a good rough on there, and then it gets to the point where it actually is quite rough, and then it diffuses it. One thing I also do is I use this. This is just packing, I guess, styrofoam, and it's sheets. Use it to just wrap things up. And what I do is I put them together into a strip like this. There. So that's just it wrapped up and covered in tape. That goes in the sensor array. So for example, I'm losing more of these pieces. I put it in, whoops. I take this and I put this in behind here. So this is where the blue is. By putting that there, and that covers the whole thing, that covers the yellow as well, that gives me a diffuser. So when I put all this in, I've got a diffuser for the top sensor array here. I leave the green and the red here as well as the red here. They're all fine as they are, but they look like that. So that is the next step in putting together. Now I know some people have been saying, well, this is a lot of work, a lot of this, a lot of that to get to where we need to go. But this is the steps you need to take to get there. You can't just throw it in a pile, hit it with a hammer, and done. It doesn't work that way. You need to sort of do your steps to get there first. So by having it, so I had the sensor array done, and nicely, because Jerry has taken this so it's a modular, it's not this wire to that, I can actually take the board, which only has some JSD connectors on it, one into it and one back out to it. I can just get that secured into the sensor hood here. I can actually just hot glue it into the back here, so it's done and there, and then no worries, and it's done. Another thing, nice thing too I wanted to talk about is I've gone to the next step. So rather than, like this part here has been painted, but these sensor arrays, vinyl. So I whipped out the vinyl cutter, which I haven't used in a long time. I used to use it to cut styrene, but I haven't used it to do vinyl in quite a while. Cut the vinyl as well as the gold bit on the sensor array on the front there, and if you can see that, that's been done as well. So there's a lot of little tips and tricks and everything that's going on with this in order to make this happen. But now that I'm at the point where I have the sensor hood done, I've got all the little grade leads I've printed and they're good to go, I'm going to secure them into the sensor hood, and then from there I'm going to move on to the rest of the body. So I then now have the body, which I'll add in the board, and then I need to make sure everything else is kosher by way of the boards for the reed switch. I've got this printed and I've got it painted and primed, just the black part, because the rest of this is going to be covered by this piece here, be covered by a sticker, so I don't need to worry about that so much. But I had these set to go into the door. They're all set to go as well. So probably going to work on the body next, and then work on the door, the lid, in order to make sure that the reed switches are working as they should. And then once that's done, I can then close it up. Maybe I'll bond it in so there's not as much going on by the way of holding, making the stickers do all the work. So I'll just bond them into one part of the body. But that is the process. That's where we're at right now. So that is where I'm at with the tricorder build. It is coming along quite nicely. I think what we have here from the group at Delta Vega Props is we've got a pretty viable prop here. So as I said before, that's my job. I build it and they will come. I'm building it to see, are there issues with this? Can we change this? Can we make this better, make this better? So some of the things I've said, like how about we just cut vinyl? Oh, better. Because we were talking about maybe making the sensor pieces a separate piece, and then that's, you know, another print, another build. And well, how about just white vinyl? Oh, I like that. So that's the video for today. Hope everyone's having a great day, and we'll talk to you all later.